Yeah, I'm going to be dealing with heavy spoilers really quickly, so yeah, that's going up front. Phase Space, Westworld Season 2, Episode 6. So, yeah, Ford's back. Kinda, sorta, maybe. It's weird. That, honestly, genuinely surprised me. And then surprised me again with the fact that it surprised me. Like, I feel like I should have seen that coming. Like, that should not have been a surprise at all. But I don't know, something about the way everything else had been shot. The fact that he hadn't even appeared in flashbacks, up to that point. To me, just really said that, oh, okay, they didn't want to pay for Anthony Hopkins to do anything this season. We will never see him again. So I think possibly for that more meta reason, I honestly thought he was not gonna be coming back. So, but just seeing that, oh, that was a good endpoint on this episode. But I don't want to dwell on that too much, but I do want to say that it did need that kind of punch. This is a good episode, but it's coming off the back of two really amazingly good episodes that really drilled in and focused on some specific characters who are some of the most interesting and really moved their stories forward. This is an episode that's a bit more connective tissue. It's a little bit more taking the characters from where they were left from the last couple of episodes and getting them to wherever they need to be for the next thing that's going to happen. So it's a transition episode. I don't want to call it filler. It does serve plot functions, but it's more about getting everybody arranged in the position they need to be in, rather than being the big moments. So. And those sorts of things are often necessary in these shows. And it's a pretty good example of something like that. And also it helps because oftentimes after a couple of really stellar episodes, you sometimes just get a nosedive, and this isn't that. It's just a shift to something else. So yeah, works pretty well. As far as specific stories go, I really enjoyed the Man in Black and his daughter. I like seeing him get dressed down a bit, and she's definitely the character to do that. That was a really interesting dynamic to play. And then of course, being such a unrepentant bastard that he is, he doesn't stick around and he bails on her. He really is an atrocious human being, and I love watching him. I love how the episode opens with Dolores, and there's something about her looking at the camera going, "Why would you ever be afraid of me?" And I'm like, oh, that's so good. And the stuff going on with Bernard is weird. So, like, I already mentioned Ford, but, so Bernard is kind of in the host personality storage unit, which is also the park, or it's structured to be like the park. To the mind of whatever host has been put in there. That's interesting. That's odd. I wouldn't have caught that. But at the same time, I can think of logical reasons why that would be the case. If even during periods of maintenance or just being stored, if the best way to keep everything active and working as well as it should be is to keep it engaged, well, the best thing to do is to just have it cycling through the same things it would be doing if it was still in physical form and not just in an uploaded persona to the cloud sort of thing. So that does track when I think about it. But it in the moment watching, I was like, what the hell? But like in a good way, like in an intrigued way. Maeve was great. I knew from before not before, but before this season, when she first said she was going to find her daughter, I remember thinking that kid is not gonna remember you. That there's no way they would have left her with that, because you didn't remember until you became self-aware. So I knew that that kid was not going to recognize her, and they hammered that home, and they hammered that home hard. I am really curious as to what is going on with the Ghost Nation. It really seems like there's something going on under the surface as to why they are behaving the way they are, and I really want to get some answers on that, and fairly soon. The corporate espionage stuff, Tessa Thompson's whole thing, and she's still good in the part, but her storyline is still the least interesting, although still not awful, because the show has been really smart about not letting that ever become the dominant story in any of these episodes, and I think it's a very good call. I'm trying to think. Oh, I was really kind of saddened seeing how ruthless Teddy was now, and also kind of seeing Dolores' face, because I think it's only now really occurring to her what it is that she did and what it is she lost, what she took away from herself by changing Teddy the way that she did. And I think the weight of him not being the same inherently good guy that she always had at her side is going to start to weigh on her, or at least I hope so. It's hinted really, really nicely in this episode. Before Maeve has her whole thing with the kid, we get a little bit more of her in Shogun World. I really enjoyed that. It's a beautiful setting. I love a bamboo forest. So that was great stuff. Those performers really are very good. I'm glad. It makes sense that not all of them are going to go with her, but I am glad that they kept, forgive it. I'm not saying it to be flippant. I'm flippant. I'm saying it because it's literally true. They kept the girl with the dragon tattoo. And I like that. I like Maeve building her little core group of murder friends. It's good. It's nice. It's good to make friends, especially if they'll murder people with you. And I like the sort of the implementation of a certain guiding philosophy in terms of her use of her ability to basically just tell hosts to do whatever she wants them to do. And this idea of not taking away someone's fate, because she could make anybody do anything that they want, but if she has a few guiding principles, and she may stick to them, she may break them, we'll see, but as long as there's something like that is a form of restriction on what she can do, because if you establish that she has, if not hard rules, at the very least guidelines for herself, that becomes an answer for, well, why didn't she just do that thing she knows how to do and just cause that to, use that to fix the problem. And sometimes she does, but I think I'm gaining enough understanding about her headspace in terms of when she uses that to be okay with the times that she chooses not to. And I think, plot hole wise, that was a good thing to kind of establish, and I think that plays out well. I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing bad in this episode. There's no false steps in this episode, but its highs are not as high as the last couple episodes, but it's still really good, and I am dang curious and dang invested to see the next episode. But have you seen Westworld episode 6? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. There's all the stuff to do, such as like and subscribe and support me on Patreon, follow me on Twitter, and even more than that, links to all of these things that I just mentioned and the things that I didn't are all down in the description. So until next time, this council is adjourned.